Let's discuss about translation. Translation in eukaryote. Also, say protein synthesis process. Actually, the translation involves translating the sequence of messenger RNA. Actually, the whole central dogma is DNA to mRNA, mRNA to protein. Here, the translation involves the translating the information which carried by messenger RNA from DNA. Okay. Also, this during the transcription only the DNA transcribed its information into mRNA. Next, the mRNA passed to ribosomes, which are present in cytoplasm or endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, next, let's discuss some points about ribosomes. Actually, eukaryotic ribosome has 8S subunits and it has large and smaller subunits, that is 60S subunit and 40S subunits. 60S subunit have further subdivisions 28S, 5.8 and 5S. 40S consists of 18S and 33S. 18S rRNA. Next, sites for protein synthesis. Ribosome is a sites for protein synthesis. Also, the large and smaller subunits has 3 sites, important sites for protein synthesis: A site, P site and E site, empty site or exit site. First one, A site. It's a amino acyl tRNA binding site or it's a entry site. During the protein translation or during the protein synthesis, the tRNA will endorse into A site. Next, it was translocated into P site. It's a peptidyl tRNA binding site or peptide releasing site. Next one, exit site or E site or empty site. Here, after the releasing of peptide, the uncharged tRNA will endorse into E site. Next is the overall mechanism of translation in eukaryotes. Here you can find the A, P and E sites. Next, there are some difference between prokaryotes and eukaryotic translations. The prokaryotic ribosomes has 70S and their subunits are 30S and 50S. Already I told within the prokaryotes the difference between the sedimentation coefficient is 20S. From 70S, the prokaryotic sedimentation coefficient or ribosomes size is 70S and its large subunit is 50S, less than 20 minus 20. From that minus 20, 30S. It's a smaller subunit of prokaryote ribosomes. Likewise, in eukaryote ribosome has the sedimentation coefficient of 80s with the subunits of 60s and 40s. Here also there is a difference, that is 20s, and the difference between prokaryote and eukaryote is just 10s. So there is no confusion. Clear? Next, in prokaryote, the N-formyl methionine will initiate the translation process. Here, the methionine will initiate the transcription process. Also, in prokaryotes, initiation factor IF will initiate the transcription process. Here in eukaryote, EIF will initiate the transcription process. So already I told about the methionine and N-formyl methionine or N. So here in eukaryote transcription, methionine tRNA will involve in the initiation of translation. Also there is a codons also involves in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. In prokaryotes, there is a sequence signed Dahlgren or ST sequence, which are lies in 5' end. Here the AUG is the initiation site, which are binds in the smaller subunit, that means in a 30s subunit prokaryotes. Same time, the eukaryote mRNA does not have an ST sequence or signed Dahlgren sequence. Also, instead of 30s, it has 40s ribosomal subunits, which are attached at the 5' end of mRNA and moves on the mRNA when it meets AUG. AUG is a initiation codon. After the AUG or initiation codon, it will start the initiation of translation, start the translation process. Okay, next, there are 3 major stages of protein synthesis: initiation, elongation and termination. First of all, initiation of protein synthesis, initiation process. It's a eukaryote translation, so 40 and 60s ribosomes involved in the transcription. Also EIF will involves in the translation of eukaryotes. The first step for eukaryote translation is formation of not only eukaryote translation, both in prokaryote and eukaryote translation. The first step is formation of pre-initiation complex. Here in eukaryotes, the pre-initiation complex consists of 40s smaller ribosome subunit, methionine tRNA, there F methionine. Clear? Also there is a initiation factor, that is EIF2 and another GTP. Okay, there are 4 factors involved in pre-initiation complex: 40 smaller ribosomal subunit, methionine tRNA, EIF2 and GTP. Next, here the pre-initiation complex binds to 5' end of mRNA. Also it requires EIF4F and EAF 3. It is also known as gap binding complex. Next, the EAF4 consists of 4 divided into 4 complex, 4 subunits, 4 factors. EAF4A, EAF4E, G, like that. Here EAF4E binds to the 5' gap. At the same time, next the EAF4G interacts with poly A. Poly, that means poly A tail. Which are I think you may be remembering the poly A tailing is coming under an transcriptional modification process. Okay, EAF4A is an ATP dependent RNA helicases. Okay, say EAF4A is a ATP dependent RNA helicase that unwind the mRNA, which next the complex, the pre-initiation complex moves along the mRNA in 5' to 3' direction. Most of the movements and synthesis, everything goes from 5' to 3' direction. When it meets AUG or initiation codon, only it initiates the translation process. Next, the initiation codon AUG easily recognizable because it contains a short sequence called Coxsackie consonants. That is ACCAUG G. Once the complex, the pre-initiation complex is positioned over the initiation codon, that means AUG, position over the AUG, the large ribosomal subunits, that means 60S ribosomal subunits binds to 40S and form 80S initiation complex. This formation of 80S complex release several initiation factors. Because the process is over now, so the some of the components which are already used and are released, which are not needed for remaining process, is released from the complex, initiation complex or 80S complex. Next one, elongation of protein synthesis. Also here you can find the 3 sites, A, P and E site. The elongation process depends the eukaryotic elongation factors, because it's a eukaryotic translation, no. There are 3 elongation factors, that is E, F eukaryotic elongation factor 1A, eukaryotic elongation factor 1B and eukaryotic elongation factor 2 are involved. Okay, involved in eukaryotic translation, especially in eukaryotic elongation during translation process. Which are these three are almost similar functions of prokaryotic factors like EFTU, EFTS and EFG. Okay. At the end of initiation, during the elongation process, the first tRNA will enters into the entry site, A site. Before that, it's a entry site because each and every tRNA will binds with the A site. Okay. First, but at the same time, the initiation, the very first step, the tRNA will binds to the P site. Okay. The second and third, fourth, fifth tRNA will binds to the A site, entry site itself. So that the initiator of tRNA occupies the P site in ribosome. Okay. Methionine tRNA will binds to the P site. So this time the A site is, because it's a initiator. Okay. The entry site or A site is, at the same time the entry or A site is ready to receive a amino acid tRNA. Here there are some steps involved in the translation elongation. First one, position the correct amino acid tRNA in the A site of ribosome. Next, forming the peptide bond and shifting the mRNA by one codon. Also, most of the codon encode the same amino acids in both prokaryotes and eukaryotes. So there is no confusion early. Okay. In P site, the peptide will released in P site and it was moved to E site or empty site. The uncharged will move to E site or exit site. Next, termination of protein synthesis. It was carried out by 3 codons, stop codons, or termination codon, UAA, UAG and UGA. Okay, all the 3 stop codons starts with U. Remember that. Okay, also it depends as like initiation and elongation process. It also depends the eukaryotic releasing factors, that is ERF1, ERF2 and ERF3. Eukaryotic or RF1, 2 and 3. Eukaryotic termination factor 1, 2 and 3. Okay. Here the ERF1 able to recognize the 3 termination codons, that is UAA, UAG and UGA with the help of ERF3. When it meet the termination codon or stop codon, it will protein synthesis or translation process will be terminated or stopped.